Hey guys, it is Corey from Thought Soldiers. Today I wanted to talk about recent energies. Things have been very, very intense, especially the past few days. Today's been the entire day from waking up all the way through has been extremely synchronistic. Um, it feels weird at times. Feels like I'm losing my mind, but I know I'm not. It's just more in disbelief and in awe of how everything is kind of culminating to this one point in time, which is really neat and very serendipitous, almost is the best way to put it. So lately, it's been a lot of clearing, a lot of there's been a lot of really in-depth shadow work that started for me. This process has been going on since I started to get triggered in November. So on 11/11 is actually when these kind of trigger incidents happened to start this purge, and it feels like that this is kind of like the last get up and out that needs to be done for a little while to end a very long cycle, at least in my life. Let's just say that it's been a very long cycle coming to a close, and it feels nice that it's coming to a close. But there's also this level of disbelief that I'm having about some things that are occurring right now that are like, is this really happening? Because a lot of I'm guessing. Well, intuitively, I know that there's a manifestation coming in. And as far as in preparation for this manifestation to arrive, there's been a lot of clearing. As we all know, 2019 seems to be this monumental year for a lot of us. And in preparation to finally be able to receive from the universe after all the hard work we've put in as far as growing, integrating with new energies, this feels like the last to let out. And it's hard because the stuff that's popping up right now is very, very deep. And I know, at least for me, like I know that my shadow work isn't by any means complete at all. So I'm gonna just use as a me reference right now. I know this isn't the end of the shadow work, but it does feel like this is the last big purge to release to usher in whatever we've been manifesting. I can tell that the acorns arrived a few months ago. That's the best way to put it. Veronica from Higher Realm Holistics said it, God, in a video a while ago, it's like, God promised us an oak tree and all I got was this acorn. Well, we have to plant this acorn, water it, and let it grow and then reap the harvest. And I know for me, I've been trying to manifest certain things into my life for a while. And I intuitively knew they were arriving, but I can tell too there's a lot of stuff that had to come up and clear to be able to usher this in. So, so yeah, it's been very strange day. Really cool though. Anyways, I wanted to talk about something too about this with when it comes to manifestation, and like I came to realize that for me, I'm now aligning with an eternal love frequency. It's something that I've been, wanting to manifest for a while. Is my soul tribe, which could include relationships that serve me at a very deep spiritual level, as well as trying to find a soulmate, twin flame, whatever label you want to put on it, but someone that's harmonizing at a frequency that I'm at. And so now I'm realizing that when we realize that anything is possible with eternal love, or being a reflection of eternal love, living in that harmony, that then once we understand that there is real love and it's here on earth in its purest form, and we can find it by clearing all this wreckage, that's when the world becomes our playground, and we can live in extreme abundance with whatever we are seeking. We can do anything if we are living in love, because fear is what blocks us from being able to obtain certain things in our lives, or take leaps of faith in knowing that the universe has got us 110%. So I've kind of, it's been culminating to this realization that that all this work I'm doing is to harmonize with this eternal love. And this is the abundance that it brings in, because when I'm living at a love frequency and my reflection is acting accordingly, and I'm doing that to be of service as well, I can go wherever I want and be whatever I want. The only issue though is that I have these old beliefs still that are kind of coming to the surface and are starting to purge. And today's been a huge day with understanding that there are a lot of beliefs I need to unravel. And it's strange to think that the way to get to the true belief of source, and the belief that we are infinite beings, and to believe that we are eternal love and eternal light, we have to undo our old belief structures. And that's been kind of blowing my mind lately. Like, it's a concept I already understood, but to like really see that the beliefs that have been projected onto me by, family, society, teachers, friends, things like that, that they are completely out of alignment with who I am authentically. And so it's been a very deep time of looking at these beliefs and having to unravel them, essentially. And let's see, what else I want to talk about here. So another thing that's been that I've been with this belief is being aware of the poison that I carry with me, because as far as generational poison is concerned, there's things that I'm only going to go back a few generations, like to think that there are things that my grandpa believed, that poison was then cast upon my father, and both my mother and father. And that poison was thus carried, if it's not cleared, that poison was then carried and spit onto me and my brother. And then growing up knowing that this poison that's been cast upon me, that I believe upon myself, I've been casting this poison upon others. And it's this deadly like cycle. It's a fated karmic cycle that's just going to keep revolving and revolving. But when I started to wake up, and I was triggered into my awakening a few years ago, I started to realize that I need to clear this poison, because it's not serving me, but it's also not helping out the world around me. And the best way to be of service to someone else is to be of service to ourselves, I've found. So a lot of these energies, as of past little bit of time, at least for me, have been a lot of deep reflection, a lot of really deep shadow work, and more is popping to the surface. But there's also the realization that what we put into our systems could hinder us from being able to go really deep into our shadow work. And this was something that popped up in conversation today with Amber White from the Ascension Journals. Her and I were talking, and it was the discussion. I with my job, and me being an addict, I drink a lot of caffeine, and I'm also still addicted to nicotine. It's two things I need to cut out of my life, but it's very hard with the job I have, and just being able to completely cut out these things that society puts in front of us as a staple of put something into our system to be able to cope with certain stressors, or be able to make it through the day, whatever we have to use that for. But the realization is that, so like caffeine for me, stimulant, will keep me in a fight or flight response constantly, a survival mode. And what it does is if we're to think that this is human baseline, nominal, it's always keeping me above. So if we think of our emotions like a graph, for instance, I'm coming up here, and because of this caffeine and stimulants, I'm constantly up here, which means that even though I'll crash off the caffeine, I don't go, and if once again this is nominal, I don't dip as low, because I'm kind of always riding in a state like this throughout my day. And when I don't experience these low lows, I find that's where the deeper truth lies in a lot of this shadow work, is experiencing that extreme dip, and in that dip going deeper into the lesson, thus learning, and then bringing it to light, and then integrating and harmonizing with the higher frequency. So as far as, I wanted to mention something I'm trying to purge for this, this full moon. And one of the things, and I hope some people can resonate with this, is what am I putting into my body? And how is this affecting the deeper truths that I'm trying to access to be able to bring light to these things and to be able to create a new universe for myself and for other people? So as a part of this, the full moon thing popping up, I kind of wanted to do a pledge to my subscribers that I'm going to try to quit caffeine. I don't know, or at least cut it down. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to completely cut out caffeine for right now, but at least my intake of it, because I realized that when I'm not experiencing these low lows, these very dark moments, it's stopping me from being able to bring that stuff to the light and to purge it. And since this feels like this purge right now, with this full moon coming up, is a very big kind of like final to bring in a manifestation, I'm definitely gonna try that out. And so I wanted to make a pledge to people and see if anyone else will join me in either listing what what they kind of pledge to purge over this full moon, or if anyone wants to join me in this venture of trying to make one healthy decision for our bodies, because I make a ton of healthy decisions for my mind, but it's very, very hard sometimes to treat my body like a temple, and to understand that the more that I take care of myself, my physical body, the longer I'll be able to thrive and be able to serve others and stick around longer and be able to do some deeper work. So anyways, what else did I write? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good full moon and enjoys the lunar eclipse coming up. Happy purging. This seems to be a very strong, energetic time, at least for me. A lot of number synchronicities and a lot of answers arriving for synchronicity that popped up we're talking 2 years back. I had a bunch of synchronicity that was popping up that I didn't, I for some reason highlighted in my mind, and I didn't know for a while what it was. Like, there's some synchronicity that popped up, especially with numbers, that are pretty easy to figure out when you tap into intuition. But there were some word things, some phrases that popped up that didn't make sense, that are all aligning right now, and the answers are popping up, and I'm intuitively feeling that it's this cycle coming to an end, to start a new cycle, a better cycle. And it's so exciting to know that these long long cycles are coming to a close. Like, thank God. But the other realization though too is that the work is far from over. Like, at least for me, I know that there's still a lot more work that needs to get done, but it's nice to know that at least part of our harvest is going to be able to be cropped, and we can be able to live off of these things that are coming in the next little bit of time. So happy full moon to everyone. Happy lunar eclipse. I wish you all the best. If you haven't, click subscribe. It'd be really great. If you want to reach out to me, talk to me, the email is corymaclight33@gmail.com. And I wish you all a happy weekend. Hope everyone is treating themselves with kindness. Take some time out for some self-care. Get into meditation. Love yourself. Give yourself a big old hug. And that's all I got. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Happy full moon. Namaste.